Aloha, this is Martina Wing from Kona, Hawaii, talking about manta rays again. Yes, it is Wednesday, 11 o'clock a.m. here in Hawaii, and this is my time to go live and talk to you guys, talking about the manta rays. And if we haven't met, thanks for joining us. I live in Hawaii on the Big Island and on the Kona coast, and for about 20 years I'm with the manta rays. I research them, I film them, I dive with them, I snorkel with them, I guide people to see them. So Connie is here, wonderful. Thank you so much, Connie. That's New Zealand. I love this. Thank you. I'm with the manta rays a lot. So I think I have about 4,000 manta ray dives. So the time in the water is, I have this in abundance. And then I also have my team with Jim, my husband Jim, who's doing it even longer than I do it, 26 years. And then Ryan has done a lot of dives with our company as well. And then, so we just gathered a lot of information. We are very passionate about the manta rays, and we just want to share this on the Wednesdays at 11 a.m. So, and today I wanted to talk about the manta experience, how it all came about. And I want to talk about 3 phases. And the phases are like how it all started way back then the phase where the second location was discovered and established, and the third one is talking about what's happening today. And I hope you stick with me, because there's actually some sad news about this. As much as I appreciate the manta rays and want to talk about them, we also have to talk about the good and the bad of what's happening here in Kona right now. Okay, so before I jump in, I do want to show you the map real quick, what we're talking about. By the way, this is our big island, and on the Hawaiian Islands, we are the biggest island. And what you see here is Kailua Kona, that's where I live. And then you see here the airport location, and then you see the Keaho location. And this is where everything started, here down in Keaho. Before I get to Keaho, I want to share real quick how this whole concept is based on. Do it real quick. But what you see here is a light. If you turn on a light in the ocean, and when you turn it on, during the day nothing would happen, no plankton would be attracted. But if you do it at night, you can see this bright light, it would attract plankton. And plankton wants to photosynthesize certain kinds of plankton. I keep it simple, but it would attract plankton to the light. And I have a picture how it looks like when you have plankton close to a light. Now check this out. This is the light down here, and then the plankton is just gathering on top of it. And the manta rays, they feed on plankton. This is the manta ray. I'm sure you know a little bit about manta rays by now, but this is the mouth of a manta ray right here, and the manta ray is just scooping up, just swimming through the abundance of food when the light has all the food attracted. So here at night we do the experience right now on 2 locations where the boats go, and like I mentioned, the airport location and Keaho. And this is the basic concept, what it's all about. Now, in how does it as an industry, or is it ecotourism, ocean recreation ecotourism, started was back when in 1991. So before 1991, so that's 28 years ago or something like this, right? Help me here. Anyway, I'm not going to do math. 1991, it started commercially that one boat once a week went out to see the manta rays. And I know that for a fact, Jim knows that for a fact, because he was the first professional videographer on the boat to film the guests with the manta rays. So, and he said one boat once a week, going to this location here in Keaho, down here by the Sheraton Hotel, right down here. And it used to be the Kona Surf Hotel at that point. And what the hotel did is they're sitting pretty high on a cliff. They were shining really bright lights on the ocean just to make it pretty for the guests so they can enjoy the surf at night. And so what you turn on lights at night, it attracts plankton. And the manta rays learned by behavior, just classic conditioning. Let's go to this place and feed on the plankton that is in abundance in the area. So, of course, smart people watching from shore said, well, I want to swim with the manta rays. And then it also ended up that people actually went diving there. The shoreline there is really rough. You cannot really go there from shore. It's not just an easy walk in. It's really rough down there. So people took a boat out there to check it out. As far as I know, Jack's Diving Locker was doing it prior that once in a while, but not commercially. It was just checking things out. These companies, Jack's Diving Locker and Kona Coast Divers, were new to that, were not really established. I mean, it's 30 years ago. It was all small at that point. But so then 1991, it was commercially then once a week, one boat, and bring people out to the site. And then, of course, more boats picked up on it, and it got more and more. I came into this site, to this Manta experience in 1998. I was also just a guest out there. and seeing the manta rays, and it's really changed my life on so many levels. Another story for another day. Okay, and then year 1999, it came up, and in the summer of 1999, there were no manta rays being sighted at Keauhou. And it's like, you go to the dive site, you get skunked. Well, once in a while you get skunked anyway because there's no plankton, and the manta rays just maybe leave the area for a while. But the manta rays just didn't show up for several weeks. And at that point, we always made a living of selling the videos to the guests. I joined Jim to do the same thing, how he sold the video to me. And so when you make a living of just selling a video of an experience, you need manta rays. The boat owners were not so concerned, I think, although they didn't like it because getting people skunked is not fun, but they were not so concerned about the income. But Jim was very concerned because that's how we made a living. And so 1999, in the summer, no manta rays showed up in Keauhou, and Jim decided I have to do something about it. And he said, he was still working with Eco Adventures at that time. He said, okay, let's take a smaller boat. They had a second boat, the Kahanola. Let's take the smaller boat and go along the coastline. There's so many dive sites. We have to find the manta rays. All right, and so he did. He went out with Mike Farmer. And what was his first choice? Of all the dive sites along the coast he could choose, he took Garden Hill Cove. That's what we call the dive site during the day. And it's by the airport location. So this is really then, this is between Keauhou and, try this again, between Keauhou and the airport location, it's about a 20-mile drive. I mean, this is a distance of 20 miles. It's a long way. But he decided, let's go here first and set up a light, set it in the sand, and there's a sand chute, natural sand chute, and set up the light and see what happens in this during the dive, or maybe for 20 minutes to put a light, see how much plankton that comes together, and if maybe there are manta rays. And his plan was to do it several nights in a row, maybe 3 or 4 dive sites along the coast, but this was his first choice. So yeah, this is now phase 2. 1999 in August, Jim put the light down, and guess what? 6 manta rays showed up. 6 manta rays, and it was the same manta rays that were also in Keauhou in the prior years, like Big Bertha and Lefty, and manta rays that have been identified. So they were easy to identify with their markings and stuff like that. So believe it or not, on his first try, Jim put down the light and saw 6 manta rays. And I remember when he came back to the pier and he was just whispering in my ear, and he's like, 6 manta rays showed up. That was just such an incredible feeling to know, we can actually continue our business. We can continue taking people out and stuff like that. So do you want to throw in, why did he choose Garden Hill Cove first? Well, there were talk during the day. We did a lot of day dive during the day. So 2 tanks in the morning, all along the coastline. And other boats did it too. And then 2 friends of us, Mike Milligan from Torpedo Tours and Mike Ho, Pirate Charters, they had told us that they actually did a night dive prior, 3-4 weeks prior to that, and said we saw a manta ray on a night dive. And then I did all the day dives at that time. And I said, well, we had a manta ray today. So it was just the talk between the industry saying, let's see what we can, that's the reason why Jim chose Garden Hill Cove first, by the chatter within our industry. And I mean, he nailed it. 6 manta rays showed up on his first night. And then the company Eco Adventures at that point, they went up to Garden Hill Cove, showing their customers an incredible time. And of course, then whisper between everybody. Actually, it's kind of funny. You can see where our house is too. You can see the dive site from here. And people had, these, what do you call them? I forgot the word. They're looking at you through the glass. And they could watch us. And I said, what is Eco Adventures doing in Garden Hill Cove at night? And, then more and more boats came. And so in August of 1999, Garden Hill Cove was established. Then just as a side note, so then airport location is established, and we have record nights out there. It went at some point to 36 manta rays in one night, and then our most is ever seen up there is 46 manta rays in one dive site. I was there, I recorded this. It's just an incredible situation. And then Keauhou, this was then abandoned, kind of like the manta rays didn't show up there in 99 in the summer. And there's this myth out there that because the Sheraton Hotel, or at this point Kona Surf Hotel, said no, they turned the lights off, that the hotel went out of business, so turned the lights off, and that's why the manta rays left. Well, they left prior to that. But they definitely didn't keep him there because the lights went off for 4 years until October of 2004. The hotel reopened, and then in March of 2005, they started again with running charters out there. And it was Sea Paradise, and Jim was back on the boat at that time too, and was involved to get things rolling with the Sheraton and Sea Paradise. So what's the third phase? Well, just to finalize the second phase, but airport location keep growing, both healthy balance between boat operators, how many people are out there, and manta ray sightings were just off the charts. Keauhou since 2005, pretty much consistent. We have discovered a lot of new manta rays in that phase too. Manta rays came back. It was the question, do old manta rays come back there? No, we actually conditioned new manta rays in this phase, and still today too. And so yeah, let's fast forward to 2012, and that's when it gets a little bit sad, because then when the industry kind of like went I'm trying to be nice about this, but really it went off into the deep end where we are today. So, and for 5 years it is out of balance. And what happened is, the manta gravy train, right? So everybody thought, hey, in town there's so many boat owners, and I can make a living off manta ray experience, manta ray adventures, and take people out. Can it be that difficult? Well, I do think it's difficult in the sense of you operate at night. You know, you need to have certain skills as a captain, as a crew member. If you're diving, a dive company, you need the dive masters to know what to do. And, you know, in general, this experience lives off working together. Everybody works together, and we call it the campfire method. I made another Facebook Live about that. Everybody works in one area. Actually, I have this picture right here. It's this, you know, this concept of everybody comes together, everybody's on top is snorkelers, and then the divers are on the bottom, and the mantas are all in between, and the boats are on the outskirts and stuff like that. You know, but then one boat operator really, I'm not going to mention him, but one boat operator said, no, I'm not going to participate in the campfire method. My customers are more important. I have 6 customers on my boat. I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to stay away from the campfire about 100 yards. And if a manta ray is in the bay, you know, they're going to have that manta ray by their boat, because the second thing they did is they installed hall lighting. Now, what is hall lighting? This is maybe a little hard to explain. I don't know if you have a prop here, but think of the boat, have the hull of the boat. At the end of the boats, there are swim decks, and the propellers are underneath where people go on and off the boat on the swim deck. And then they installed lights in the hull. And when you install lights inside a hull, you attract plankton right by the hardware of the boat. And if you install lights with hardware, and all together, you create this feeding place for the manta rays to come and feed by the hardware, and that is devastating. And we have had manta rays, this is a healthy manta rays, but we've had manta rays documented that have gashes in their cephalic fins on the bottom. 3 weeks ago, Vicky, one of our most seen manta rays, had propeller damage on top of her back. You know, one of our most seen manta rays. So the manta rays that really make us a living to show to people get cut up now. You know, so I don't really want to go there too much. It's just really, really devastating. And that all started in 2012 with this one boat. And from there it went. So hall lighting was introduced, leaving the campfire method, as we call it, fragmentation. So, and then 2013, well, unfortunately, the state of Hawaii also released permits. So not only that we had so many people then at the site already, and we were in balance, but it was already kind of getting enough. I think 12 boats and about 200 people in one place is enough at night to operate this whole thing safely. Carrie, how you doing, Carrie? This is great. Thanks for joining today. If you guys leave any comments here, I don't see them. I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to look at these comments later on, and I'm going to answer all the questions you might have. I'm sorry, that is just a setting I don't have or haven't figured out yet. Alrighty, so we had fragmentation, hall lighting introduced. And then unfortunately, I mean, we all were trying to fight it and, you know, talk to the people that were introducing it. And we did it in a nice way. We did it in an even nicer way. And then we tried it in not so nice ways. And there is this thing about, you know, it's my business. You don't tell me how to run my business. And I understand that to a certain point. But when it's someone that comes into the industry that is already 25 years old and it's all established, not it's the written rules, but unwritten rules, it works good for everybody. We all make the same amount of money. you send people home as an experience of a lifetime, it all works well for everybody, then it's definitely something that, you should join that instead of fight the flow. And they were fighting the flow. Yeah, releasing of the permits made it even more difficult. More people came in onto the gravy train to make money with the manta rays. And I really have to say, over the last 2 or 3 years, more and more the greed has introduced itself into this industry. Boat owners have changed, as old boat owners that used to, for 20 years, have a certain style and, still being more like, we can make this work, I don't want to grow too fast. New owners come in, they say, no, I want to grow fast, get more and more and more. But the Manta experience cannot take more people. I want to give you just quick numbers. The state of Hawaii is coming in super slow with regulation. It's going to be a different Facebook Live. I'm going to try to get someone here to be interviewed to give us a little bit of an update. And 51 permits are asked for to be getting a permit to be doing the Manta experience. 51 boat owners, 51 permits. That means 51 boats. Could be one company has maybe 2 or 3, but it doesn't work. 51 is just too many. I believe 24 is the max to make this a healthy and balanced situation. So this is the third phase. Since 2012, we are keep growing. Have people that want to work against the flow, makes it all more difficult, and then that's the experience today. And I wanted to answer your question. What's the history of the Manta experience? Where it came from? What was how we got the second location established, and where we are today. And I hope that is interesting to you. I want to maybe do another Facebook Live. I don't want to be too long with you guys today. That and it maybe brings up some questions that I can answer in the next Facebook Live. But and I also want to leave it on a happy note. But if you come to the experience and want to see the manta rays, I really want to encourage you to look up the Hawaii Ocean Watch Manta Ray Green List. Hawaii Ocean Watch is a non-profit organization that Jim and I founded just because we believe that you as a customer, you should go out with the companies that do it right and do their best to make it right, and sometimes are just overwhelmed by the amount of people out there. But many people do it good in the industry. We have few bad apples. I really say it now. We have a few really bad apples, and I want to steer you in the right direction. So I'm going to put it in the notes. Look up Hawaii Ocean Watch Manta Ray Green List, and you will learn more about this whole thing, how to choose the right operators. And that's how I want to leave you today. You learn about how it all came about, where we are today, and more is coming every Wednesday at 11 a.m. I'm going to talk about the manta rays and how you can get the most out of this and enjoy this creature and learn about it, because it's just such a beautiful, graceful animal swimming through the ocean. And Carrie and Connie, they've done this with me. They can just say, yes, that's true, that's true. These are just beautiful creatures, and it's just very, very, you're very fortunate if you have the chance to see them in the natural environment. And I wish that for everybody who can come to Hawaii. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening today. I'll talk to you later and see you next week, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.